Gone pests and give me the bird.
We'd love to, really, but the Fox censors won't allow it. Quantum mechanics, quinoa wraps, queen bee. I know everything!
You know, some people think that genius comes in the form of lab coats and equations scribbled on a chalkboard. Maybe it's the quiet dude in the corner who plays 7 instruments and casually speaks Latin for fun.
Excuse my French!
But here's the thing. Sometimes genius is wearing a pair of gloves, a tiny red nose, and delivering rapid-fire quips like a caffeinated court jester. Yeah, I'm talking about Yakko Warner from Animaniacs, because behind the zany antics, Yakko's not just a cartoon character, he's a comedic intellectual hiding in plain sight.
Citizens of Anvilania, I stand before you because if I was behind you, you couldn't see me.
Let's set the stage here. Animaniacs is this beautiful chaos stew of pop culture references, slapstick humor, and meta-commentary that most kids completely miss, but adults lose their minds over.
You're a little big-eared kid.
You've got a great face for radio.
You're a noonie head.
I know you are, but what am I?
And at the heart of it is Yakko, the eldest Warner sibling, perpetual smart aleck, and walking encyclopedia of absurd wit.
Most people like me. I'll bet I can win you over. I'll sing you a song. People love my beautiful tenor voice.
He's the guy who can name every country in the world in under 2 minutes, in song form.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too.
I mean, come on, that's a parlor trick Einstein probably couldn't pull off. What makes Yakko brilliant isn't just that he's funny, it's that his humor is rooted in razor-sharp intellect. Think about the best comedians you know. They don't just tell jokes, they observe, they dissect, and they present the absurdities of life in a way that's both ridiculous and profound.
I mean, I got a niece, an ugly girl. She got married. She's happy. She married an ugly guy.
Right?
Today they got 2 very ugly kids.
Ugly kids, yes.
In fact, they're all so ugly in a family album. They only keep the negatives.
Yakko operates on the same plane. He's got this almost preternatural ability to balance humor with insight, to see the world as it is, poke fun at it, and make you laugh while you're realizing how weird everything actually is.
To mine.
Brain.
No, we haven't started.
Begun.
No, wait.
Yield.
No, stop!
Cease.
Silence!
Quiet.
Enough!
Let's take one of those classic Animaniacs skits where the Warners outsmart some pompous authority figure. Yakko's strategy isn't just to mock them with random jokes, it's to expose the fragility of their authority. He'll turn their own logic against them, break down their arguments, and leave them stammering. It's like watching a cartoon Socrates, except he's less likely to drink hemlock and more likely to throw a pie.
See what I did there?
And that's where the heightened awareness comes in. Yakko's not just joking for the sake of it, he's keenly aware of the absurdity of the world around him. He's operating on this meta level where he sees the rules of the game and decides to break them for fun. It's almost a form of rebellion, but a playful one, like a kid pointing out that the emperor has no clothes and then spray painting a smiley face on his royal backside.
A fine example of neoclassical postmodern expressionism depicting man versus fate. 2 out of 3 falls.
Comedy, when done right, is one of the most intelligent forms of communication. It's about timing, wordplay, and understanding your audience's expectations so you can flip them on their heads.
Life is an education, and if you're older, you're smarter. I just believe that. If you're in an argument with somebody and they're older than you should listen to them. It doesn't mean they're right. It means that even if they're wrong, their wrongness is rooted in more information than you have. They've been here longer.
Yakko doesn't just tell jokes, he weaves them into these intricate little performances that require a deep understanding of context and human nature.
The banana fufu. That's my cute little sister who said that. Good night, everybody.
Consider how Yakko uses humor to handle conflict. In any given episode, the Warners are up against some antagonist, a studio exec, a dictator, or some hapless security guard. And Yakko's weapon of choice? Wit. He'll fire off rapid puns, double entendres, and meta references that leave his opponent too baffled to fight back.
Chance to be that you have made a small mistake or need a bathroom break. Tough luck! So go out and sing and dance, and if you pee your pants, then I don't give a...
It's like verbal judo, using their own energy against them until they collapse in a heap of confusion. And then there's the self-awareness. Yakko knows he's a cartoon character. He knows the fourth wall exists, and he takes great joy in smashing it to bits. That level of awareness isn't just funny, it's deeply philosophical. It's like Yakko saying, hey, none of this is real, so why not have fun with it?
Hello. Reboots are symptomatic of a fundamental lack of originality in Hollywood.
Have you no shame?
Here's your check for the Animaniacs reboot, you sellouts.
It's a reminder to not take life too seriously, because in the grand scheme of things, we're all just animated blips on a cosmic screen. What's fascinating about Yakko is how he balances chaos with control. He's an agent of anarchy, sure, but there's a method to his madness. He's not just running around causing trouble for no reason. He's always got a point to make. Whether he's lampooning Hollywood, politics, or education, Yakko's chaos is always purposeful. And this is where his genius really shines. Chaos without purpose is just noise, but chaos with purpose, that's art.
All right, guys, there's a lot of pressure on our first lines. They gotta be funny, they gotta be irreverent, and most of all, they gotta be carefully crafted.
Yakko's humor has this almost surgical precision to it. He knows exactly where to poke, where to prod, and where to drop the punchline for maximum impact.
What are we all laughing about?
It's the comedic equivalent of a master painter, except instead of a brush, he's wielding a whoopee cushion. Yakko's name itself adds another layer to his genius. Derived from yak, a slang term for incessant chatter, it perfectly encapsulates his rapid-fire delivery and ceaseless wit. The name is almost a wink from the creators, as if to say, yeah, he's a talker, but what he says matters. Rob Paulsen, the voice behind Yakko, is another key to understanding the character's brilliance.
And as for the song where he sings every country in the world,
the interesting thing is it only took me one take to record it. The song is a beautifully crafted piece. That's the difficult part, not singing it.
Some of the places you can hear him were in Goof Troop, Darkwing Duck, Gummy Bears, Tiny Toon Adventures. The list goes on. This guy is kind of legend.
Paulsen's comedic timing and vocal dexterity bring Yakko to life in a way that feels both effortless and meticulously crafted. A seasoned voice actor with decades of experience, Paulsen's natural affinity for musicality and humor makes him the perfect fit for Yakko. In fact, Paulsen has often said that voicing Yakko allowed him to blend his passions for music, quick wit, and wordplay into one iconic performance. As for the creators, Tom Rieger and his team at Warner Bros. Animation were heavily inspired by classic comedy when creating Yakko. Rieger described Yakko as a character that combines the quick wit of Groucho Marx.
Can you sleep on your stomach with such big buttons on your pajamas? So, you didn't think I was a real detective, eh?
If you're a detective, I'm a monkey's uncle.
Keep your family out of this.
Oh, please.
With the mischievous charm of Bugs Bunny.
This one. You know, sometimes me conscience kind of bothers me. But not this time.
This blend of timeless comedic influences gave Yakko a unique personality that could appeal to both children and adults. Rugger's sharp understanding of satire and his love for clever, multi-layered humor are embedded in Yakko's DNA. This intentional design makes Yakko not just a character, but a celebration of wit and intellect in its most entertaining form.
Bert is the hotshot sports agent Jerry McWarner.
Show me the money! Show me the money! Show me the money!
What's going on inside Yakko's head? Chaos, pure unfiltered chaos, but the fun kind, like a pinball machine with too many balls. Imagine a mind so fast it probably thinks in overlapping sentences. Logic? Sure, but only if it's funny. Every joke, every quip, every pun is calculated, but not in a slow, deliberate way. No, Yakko's brain is a quantum computer running on coffee and anarchy. He sees the world, picks it apart, and spits it back out in technicolor nonsense. It's not that he doesn't take things seriously, it's that he takes not taking things seriously very seriously. If you think about it, Yakko's mind operates like the great creatives throughout history.
Lady fingers, finger sandwiches, and foods without any fingers at all.
This is the problem with being rich.
Your only other nickname is Dick? Croque, monsieur! Croque, monsieur! Croques of all kinds!
He's a little like Mozart, chaotic but precise, playful but genius. Or maybe he's more like Salvador Dali, turning absurdity into art, taking what shouldn't make sense and making it brilliant. Yakko's jokes are his paintings, his symphonies, small masterpieces that blur the line between chaos and order.
George guy anyway. How about I go back to being the rapier wit who carries this whole operation, and you go back to being the paint-by-numbers wannabe artiste?
He's the kind of character who'd look at the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel and crack a joke about God's beard while appreciating the artistry. Yakko doesn't just exist, he performs. And every performance is a reflection of a mind that refuses to settle, refuses to conform. He's aware of the absurdity of life, but instead of lamenting it, he revels in it.
Items. Those are the very things that Mariachi has been stealing. Know what this means?
He's a thief? Good answer. Yeah, good one. That's it.
Life support systems will be terminated in 19.6 seconds.
You mind if we talk this over, Al?
His brain isn't just firing on all cylinders, it's setting off fireworks, and we're lucky enough to watch the show. Now, here's the part where I get all reflective and sentimental, so bear with me.
I am one of a kind. I'm having an existential crisis?
Why does Yakko's genius matter? Because he reminds us that intellect isn't just about how much you know, it's about how you see the world, how you question it, and how you share that perspective with others. Yakko shows us that humor can be a form of resistance. It can be a way of saying, I see the absurdity of this situation, and I refuse to let it defeat me.
He's mine.
In a world that often feels overwhelming and nonsensical, Yakko's laughter is a reminder that we have the power to find joy and meaning even in chaos. And let's be honest, we all need a little Yakko in our lives. We need that voice that says, yeah, life is ridiculous, but isn't it also kind of wonderful? We need that reminder to laugh at ourselves, to not take things too seriously, and to embrace the absurdity of it all. So is Yakko Warner a genius? Absolutely, but not in the stereotypical IQ test kind of way. He's a genius of awareness, of wit, and of finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. He's the kind of character who makes you laugh until you're crying, and then leaves you wondering why you suddenly feel so inspired. Yakko is proof that intellect doesn't have to be stuffy or pretentious. It can wear a pair of oversized gloves, crack a joke, and sing a song about geography. And maybe, just maybe, it can remind us all to see the world with a little more curiosity, a little more humor, and a lot more joy. In the words of Yakko himself,
Good night, everybody.
Just came by to introduce myself and show you my buns.
Good night, everybody.
Crete, Mauritania, then Transylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan.
if this narrative resonated with you, do support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe. Thank you for staying with us to the end. See you in the next video on Plaid Chronicles.